Suppose your favorite baseball team becomes the most famous franchise on Earth. 27 championships, legendary players, a logo recognized across the world. Now suppose some of the players behind that success become linked to steroids, drugs, domestic violence, and even crimes so disturbing that they permanently stain the team's legendary history. Today we're looking at 5 of the most controversial players ever to wear the New York Yankees uniform. 1. Mel Hall. Mel Hall looked like a player who had built a respectable major league career. After debuting with the Chicago Cubs, he spent years developing into a productive outfielder before eventually joining the Yankees in 1989. During his 4 seasons in New York, Hall became a reliable hitter and enjoyed the best years of his career. His 1992 season was especially impressive, producing career highs in hits and RBIs. But Hall's reputation inside the clubhouse was never as strong as his numbers on the field. He was known for creating tension among teammates, and one of the most famous examples involved future Yankees legend Bernie Williams. Hall reportedly mocked the young rookie and constantly belittled him in front of others. Still, those stories would later seem minor compared to what came next. Years after leaving baseball, Hall became the center of one of the darkest criminal cases involving a former MLB player. He was arrested and accused of engaging in unlawful sexual conduct involving multiple minors. Investigators uncovered numerous allegations, including one involving a victim who was only 12 years old. In 2009, Hall was convicted on multiple counts related to the aggravated sexual abuse of a minor and other offenses involving inappropriate conduct with a child. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison. For most former athletes, fans remember records and achievements. For Mel Hall, the criminal convictions completely overshadowed everything he accomplished on the baseball field. Today, he is remembered not for his Yankees career, but for one of the most shocking crimes ever associated with a former player. 2. Darryl Strawberry. Few players in baseball history possessed as much natural talent as Darryl Strawberry. Standing 6'6" with incredible power, he looked destined for greatness. He won Rookie of the Year, became an 8-time All-Star, led the league in home runs, and helped win multiple World Series championships. During the 1980s, Strawberry was one of baseball's biggest stars. Many believed he could eventually become one of the greatest sluggers the sport had ever seen. But away from the spotlight, personal problems were growing. As his career progressed, substance abuse began taking control of his life. Cocaine use led to suspensions, damaged relationships, and constant negative headlines. Teams no longer knew whether they could rely on him, despite his enormous talent. The problems extended beyond baseball. Strawberry faced tax evasion charges, legal disputes, arrests, and multiple incidents connected to drug abuse. At one point, his life had spiraled so far out of control that he openly admitted he had lost the desire to keep fighting. Then another devastating challenge arrived. In 1998, Strawberry was diagnosed with colon cancer. Suddenly, baseball no longer mattered. He underwent surgery and chemotherapy while battling for his life. What makes Strawberry different from many controversial athletes is that his story eventually found redemption. Through faith, recovery, and personal transformation, he rebuilt his life. Today, he is often remembered as both one of baseball's greatest wasted talents and one of its most inspiring comeback stories. 3. Aroldis Chapman. When Aroldis Chapman arrived in Major League Baseball, he seemed almost unreal. The Cuban-born pitcher threw baseballs faster than nearly anyone in history. His fastball regularly exceeded 100 miles per hour, and he eventually recorded the fastest pitch officially tracked by MLB. Fans were amazed. Hitters were terrified. After defecting from Cuba and building a new life in America, Chapman quickly established himself as one of baseball's most dominant closers. By the time he joined the Yankees, he was already considered one of the most feared relief pitchers in the game. Then controversy entered the picture. Before the 2016 season, Chapman became involved in an incident that triggered Major League Baseball's domestic violence policy. Although criminal charges were never filed, MLB conducted its own investigation and suspended him for 30 games. The suspension immediately changed how many people viewed him. Instead of discussing only his incredible velocity and strikeout totals, fans began debating his actions away from the field. Chapman continued winning games, collecting saves, and earning all-star appearances. Yet the controversy followed him throughout his Yankees career. His story demonstrates how quickly an athlete's reputation can change. Extraordinary talent may create admiration, but controversy can permanently alter how that talent is remembered. 4. Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens wasn't simply a great pitcher, he was one of the most dominant pitchers baseball had ever seen. Nicknamed the Rocket, Clemens won 7 Cy Young Awards, captured World Series championships, and recorded thousands of strikeouts over a remarkable career. When he joined the Yankees, he added even more success to an already legendary resume. Even as he grew older, he continued performing at a level few players could match. That dominance eventually raised questions. As baseball's steroid era came under investigation, Clemens became one of the biggest names linked to performance-enhancing drugs. The Mitchell report alleged that he had used steroids, relying heavily on testimony from his former trainer. Clemens strongly denied the accusations. What followed was years of controversy. He testified before Congress, denied using steroids under oath, and became involved in one of the biggest scandals of baseball's modern era. Federal investigations and criminal charges soon followed. Eventually, Clemens was found not guilty on all charges. Legally, he won, but public opinion was a different story. Even today, baseball fans remain divided. Some believe he was unfairly targeted, others remain convinced he benefited from performance-enhancing drugs. Regardless of where the truth lies, the controversy has significantly damaged his reputation and complicated his Hall of Fame case. His story proves that even extraordinary accomplishments can become overshadowed when suspicion enters the conversation. 5. Alex Rodriguez. If statistics alone determined greatness, Alex Rodriguez would be remembered as one of the greatest players in baseball history. He recorded over 3,000 hits, nearly 700 home runs, multiple MVP awards, and achievements that placed him among the game's all-time elite. For years, A-Rod represented the modern baseball superstar. After joining the Yankees, expectations were enormous. Fans expected championships and historic performances. Rodriguez delivered many of them, helping the team win the 2009 World Series while continuing to climb baseball's record books. Then came the revelation that changed everything. In 2009, Rodriguez admitted that he had used performance-enhancing drugs earlier in his career. The confession shocked fans because he had previously denied steroid use. Suddenly, every accomplishment became the subject of debate, but the controversy didn't stop there. A few years later, Rodriguez became connected to the biogenesis scandal, one of the largest PED investigations in baseball history. MLB accused him of obtaining banned substances and interfering with the investigation. He eventually received a 162-game suspension, effectively removing him for an entire season. The punishment became one of the harshest ever given to a superstar player. Unlike some athletes who continued denying everything, Rodriguez eventually admitted many of his mistakes. Yet, the damage to his legacy was enormous. Today, Alex Rodriguez remains one of baseball's most complicated figures. His talent is undeniable. His accomplishments are undeniable, and so are the controversies that followed him throughout his career. The Yankees have produced some of the greatest players in sports history, but greatness does not guarantee good decisions. Mel Hall, Darryl Strawberry, Aroldis Chapman, Roger Clemens, and Alex Rodriguez all achieved success. All generated headlines, and all became controversial for very different reasons. Because in sports, talent can make you famous, but controversy can make you unforgettable.